This video is to prove to you that drugging affects my martial arts, and I've been very good at martial arts for a long time. Okay, this picture is when I'm 16 and a half. You can tell that I'm strong and shape. This is long before they were covertly drug-induced stimulants. Okay, just to overkill that point. This video is from the drugging playlist, June 14th, 2012. And I'm holding a Knights Templar sword. Okay, so this is well after they began the psych op and they began gang stalking me, and so to say that it was, they're doing this because I was converted to Islam, or that they have a good reason, is nonsense. So here is when the background starts falling apart. May 15th, 2012. Okay, I have to make this into 2 clips because they give me a hard time uploading videos that are longer. I usually block them. There's also a challenge, in reference to my other martial arts challenge. Okay, wow, they're drugging me hard. I'm probably gonna sneeze anytime soon. My nose is just burning right now. Oh, it went away. Okay, anyway. Yeah, they're gassing me pretty hard here. Explanations with interview with a friend that's known me 3 months. They say I'm not crazy and so on. And basically, it shows you they lace the weed, and I have proof in the video, and I go over this in my other videos. I'm gonna try to shoot through this. You see that white thing that was on the weed? Okay, and I also shine a flashlight on it, showing there's white flakes that are similar to that. Okay, so they were drugging my weed. I'll show you the date, July 25th. This is 3 days before I go to the psych ward. Basically, I'm gonna give you the timeline for all this in a second. Okay. Matter of fact, let me take it back. The first time I went to the psych ward in almost 10 years was after my ex-girlfriend was my psychology teacher at University of Phoenix from 2001, when I got in trouble with the law. Okay. Now, this is a repost from 2009. Just listen.
It was more celebrated than say groups like the Mongols. Even the Mongols had a bigger empire, is because...
Okay, so I went to the psych ward, some 6 months after this video, okay?
These are white guys, and the main reason they're getting credit for it is ideas that they have stolen from the Egyptians. And it is quite sad that the white people have stooped so low.
Okay, so white people, who are, psychiatrists about upholding white social norms, mainstream white social norms. And so they had vested interest in my parents. The very first time I ever went to the psych ward, it's important to note that I was going next door to see the neighbor's daughter, and I had taken about 5 steps outside, and my dad said that I was in a temple, fugue state. My mom agreed. They both have my mom has more of a tendency to exaggerate, but they both have a tendency to exaggerate things when it comes to me. And it was about control. So at some point, the system decided that I was a problem as well. So they had vested interest in drugging me to keep me under control, under their control more specifically. Okay. So now, going back to the list. Okay, so that's important to note. So yeah. Oh no, excuse me. I messed up there with the timeline. Damn it. That's true. I actually messed up with the timeline there. I'll correct it in part 2. But it was actually February 26, 2011. It was the first time in almost 10 years I've been to the psych ward, because it goes from 2001, when I got in trouble with the law in late 2001, and then it goes to 2011. Okay, so you see that in this one I'm complaining about a psych ops, corrupt pigs. I'm sick of this New World Order shit, and I made a lot of videos about the psych ops they were running on me. Well, I'll have to make part 2 because this gas is killing me. I'll have to cut off here and come back to this. All right, going back to, I'll start at the first time I've been to the psych ward in almost 10 years. This was uploaded January 22nd, 2012. The time I was at the psych ward was, February 26, 2011. I believe the 1-year anniversary of my uncle's death. Okay. Now, it's important I show you this so you can understand that this is Illuminati Part 159. Okay, so now let me go to the repost, because my original channel, Platinum Local, this is the first video on my second channel, Platinum Location. Okay, and now going to, okay, just pick a random video here. This is, I'm going to estimate around the time I went to the psych ward, probably was somewhere around, 42, somewhere around here. Okay, one of these videos, because I spread out these videos a lot more than you might think, because it starts in 2009. You can see this one posted in 2012, so these are spread way out over years. Okay, when I first started making videos, I made them with a lot less frequency than, after 2012. 2012 is when I started making a whole lot of videos, and so I started making videos every day, for instance. So let's just find one. Let's choose this one, because there's a whole bunch of them that sound just the same. Okay, we'll go through
this video. I'm going to start with the Lord's Prayer, then read to you from Voices from Ancient Egypt in Anthology of Middle Kingdom Writings.
You hear people crying about, well, that's one random video. Okay, let's go to this one, 42.
Let's look at the timeline. 1619, the first 20 slaves are bought. 1776, the Illuminati's formed. 1808, psychiatry is coined by Johann Christian Rail.
Okay. The next video. Josh is fucking gassing. It's killing me. Sorry.
In this video, I would like to commend and congratulate Ephraim Zuroff.
Alright, so go to the next one. I don't want to take.
Need I bring up Genesis 1:14 through 18? Do I have time? Yes, I do. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons.
Alright, so I'm trying to read it passionately, but
in this video, I'm going to prove to you that the Jews are part black at least. They come from Babylon. They pass through Egypt.
Next video. There's not. Let them go to the next one. 48. This is all around the time I wrote the cycle for the first time. So you can tell I'm angry. I'm complaining about food. I why the fuck they just want to play? Okay.
Is Ernst Rudin. He was a former Rockefeller employee. And this goes back to Munich.
Oh, I didn't.
And I'll be getting into that in a moment. This next picture is...
Alright, let's just skip ahead to the purpose of this video. I don't want to make this video this long. Okay? You can tell that there's nothing really wrong with me. I'm hungry and, kind of agitated, because of the subject matter and what's going on in my life. Okay? Straightforward, couldn't be any other way, etc. Now we go to... Alright, where do we leave off? Gosh, this gas is really getting to me. Just put it in my nose right now. Okay. See what I mean, man? These lowly dogs, man. These lowly fucking dogs. And they're gonna say, oh, it's in your head that you're being gassed. You see how my voice starting to change too? I mean, come on, man. Come on. You know it. I know it. Anyway, I'm making a video about the covert drugging, the drugging playlist, and they're gassing me, while I'm making the video. Anyway, so I say I'm sick of this New World Order shit. You can see I'm mad. I'm mad about the psychops. Going back up to here. Okay, where do I talk about the psychops? What? I didn't put that in this fucking thing. Oh, I remember. Okay, yeah. Okay. It's in the annotations. You'll see it in my other video. Okay, I'll show you my other video because I don't. One of these videos, they're in the annotations. It says something about psychops. Okay, now I'm talking about the code of silence, practical security, Rockefeller. I'm talking about how the harms, the dangers of psych meds, and so then This is the video right before I go to the psych ward. Now, July 28th is somebody I know's birthday, okay? And it was the day I went to the psych ward, the second day. So the first time was the anniversary of my uncle's death. This is after they were drugging my weed. I'm growing plants in my room, and I'm losing, you know, control of the black background because the wind is coming from this side. You know, the wind is, see where the poster is, there's a window over there, okay? Matter of fact, is he gonna kill me to show you the window? No. It's the window, okay? The wind's coming in through that window, and it's blowing the fucking stuff around. You know, that's why it's all looking like that. Look at it carefully, okay? That's the wind blowing it around, you know? And a lot of it's being held up by tape and so on and so forth. So when I first put it up, it's not that bad. The wind blows it around. I'm being covertly drugged. My life is going to disarray. Watch what I say.
You think I didn't want to have a beautiful wife, family, normal life? No. I'm the loser who was already a loser before he started fighting the New World Order. And now I'm the biggest loser on this whole fucking YouTube, hands down. Because I put so much effort into trying to win, and I lost. And some of you are laughing right now like, ha, ha, ha. You lost to Big Brother. You lost to the crooked cops. You lost to the pharmaceutical industries. You know, and you're right. Go ahead and enjoy your laugh. Enjoy it well.
Alright, so then this
video is about what is really wrong with you.
This is my voice. This is the first video. This is after being on psych meds since July 28th.
I had some playback
a month and a half.
Recording it about 10 minutes ago. So now
so I get out, and when I get the psych ward, I have playback issues. So they're cyber attacking me. So I can't record these videos well. You know.
With a still frame.
It wasn't a coincidence that I played that.
So I decided to start recording the day I returned from the pyramids the night was.
You can tell, you know, my brain is fucked up from the horse dose of psych meds I'm on. Okay, I go on to talk about Pfizer Global Security now.
Right. First, I'd like to point out that
I'm actually gonna have to do this in 3 clips, so clip 3 coming up. All right, so I have to do it in 3 clips because it's easier for me to upload it that way, and you know, it's a less of a pain if they block it. It says could not publish after I waited 10 minutes for the longer videos, so it's better to do it in shorter videos. Long story why that is. Okay, so basically I had reported the psych op. You know what? Fuck it, let's just go for the psych op because I don't want any misunderstanding. We'll go to that one in a second.
I'm still waiting for you whining martial artists to come forward. So anyway, here's the explanation.
You can tell I'm being drugged. You know.
I'm here to warn you about the devils who want to play out the black man's point of view ahead of time because they have a bunch of master chemists, master biochemists, propagandists, sociologists, psychiatrists, and psychologists who are drugging you, using propaganda, psychology, and all kinds of fucking shit to manipulate you. They want to get you to lash out and then
one of these videos, it's in the thing with the psycho.
What is going on is too complicated, so I'm going to simplify it from my notes. Basically, it started with me talking about Rockefeller and eugenics and my dad being part of the same secret societies and medical groups, quote unquote, you know, the hospital.
You can tell by my voice they must have been drugging me with the same thing they were drugging me at the hospital, you know, before I go in.
And, you know, brain surgeons. I'm not going to get into it, you know. He's never really got into it with me. He's always been... So it starts with the environment. With
all do what you do on YouTube in my place of business or institution. You see what it gets you. Alright, so... Okay. This is about the psych op. And I can't believe I can't find this video where I mentioned the psych op. Oh, here we go. The government didn't do quote-unquote by themselves. They used KKK and white racist militants.
California and the white structure that controls it. Several police chiefs and mayors in the past have been part of the white racist structure, even though some of them weren't entirely white. Now, before we get into that, let's start with the marijuana clubs, which are almost all entirely owned by white racists or Asians.
To make a long story short, you should watch this video. I don't want to make this video too long. It's already longer than I wanted it to be. And I haven't gotten it even touched on what I meant the whole purpose of this video. Okay? Basically, I'm talking about how there's a conspiracy you know, white racist conspiracy, and that, you know, between the weed club video and this video, you should know that I'm talking about how it's targeting me. Okay. So anyway, this is, you know, this is before going to the psych ward. This is, you know, at this point in the video, I show you, at this point in the playlist, I show you that, you know, this is actually recorded from a camera. Watch this. At this point, you can tell by that right there that it's recorded from this camera, okay? Because I was not recording from my cell phone at this point. I was recording from webcams on YouTube. And this is a recording of a recording. You know, I believe I put it on my, you know, older computer when I was using this one. You know, and I recorded it from the screen. Either that or it was my old laptop. You know, one of the two. This is actually takes place before the drugging starts. This is June 2nd, 2012. Okay, if you recall, even if you don't believe that this is older than this video, which I don't know why you wouldn't, but let's say you didn't, right? Let's go back to here, right? This is June 14th. Okay, you notice the background isn't that bad. So even though they were drugging me at this point, they weren't drugging me that much. Okay, covertly. You know, and part of the reason I made that weed video is I was very angry at the fact that I bought a whole lot of that weed, because I bought weed in, you know, in abundance. You know, I buy a lot at the same time, like an ounce, and I was mad that you know, that they drugged it, and that's part of why I busted them out, and I didn't hesitate to do it. So this is before that video I just showed you with the background, you know, before the drugging, and this recording is before the date of upload. You know, now you can see I'm having trouble speaking after they gasped. You hear the voice, you hear the sneeze, and so on earlier in the other clip. Anyway. Alright, so let's go here. This is November 17th for on February 26, 2014. The second time, okay, in the 4 years I was at University of Phoenix, 2010 to 2014, I went to the psych ward 4 times. One, February 22nd, 2011. Two, which is the anniversary of my uncle's death, the first anniversary. The second time, July 28th, 2014, which is the birthday of somebody close to me. I can't tell you who. 3, somebody in my family. 3, February 26, 2014, the 4th anniversary of my uncle's death. Okay, see a pattern here? See a pattern here? And then 4 was July 12th, 2014, when I was around the time I knew that when I was in the psych ward I was going to miss the you know, the graduation ceremony at University of Phoenix. Okay.
So I decided to replace the video that they took down on Feb. It was about the fact that since Africa.
After I go off meds, I was on meds probably until, you know, maybe April 2013. After the second time I went to the psych ward, and after, because I was at the psych when I was younger. I mean, the second time since, since I almost had been 10 years free from the psych ward. Okay, so the second time in the last 4 years. Okay, and watch how I'm talking.
The most diverse continent. It's more practical to accept in African mainstream culture.
Okay, so I'm way more articulate. My thoughts are way more together. I'm way better off psych meds. It's established.
We understand free energy, macroevolution.
Now we go on to, and also I'm not being covertly drugged to that.
I'm the top martial artist in California, and I'm being persecuted for my political views.
Talk about how I'm being persecuted for my political views. This is the next month. Okay, see, I'm still very articulate. You know.
If you do not believe that I am the top
I'm being harassed, I'm off psych meds, but I'm not being covertly drugged. Now this is going on to.
I'd like to quote Lamentations 3,
2014. You see, consistently better off psych meds, consistently more articulate.
I am the man who has seen affliction by the rod of his wrath.
Okay, so I don't have time. We're running out of time here. Now, off psych meds, not being covertly drugged. A couple days later, okay, January 25th, 2014, or some days later, same month. later that month.
To prove my man to our
The
superior.
reason why these things come out bad is watch what happens when I go like this. Okay, I actually made this on my other computer, I believe, with a bigger screen. So it on that computer it worked out, but when I went to this one, it didn't work out. Okay, so yes, but watch. I'm very articulate.
I challenge Kane compete in a setting that is fair, where there's rules that make sense to.
All right. I had to make another clip because of the time. It's gonna be a lot longer than I wanted it
to actual combat. I guarantee you, I will beat Cain Velasquez or anyone else, because fighting and defeating your opponent is about speed and still being able to stab their neck.
See, I'm very articulate, very good in martial arts. Okay, going on to the next one. This is now entered the territory that I didn't include on my other video I made specifically about this playlist, but I did include it on part 2. Okay, so we go on. That comes before this one. It's important to know I'm not being covertly drugged. I'm off psych meds. With the kick, I actually fully extend the kick. I move so fast that you only see it on the way back, so it looks like I don't fully extend. It's important to know. Okay. Another video, okay, that's February 6, 2014. These are all before I go back to the psych ward, and whenever they set me up to go back to the psych ward, they justify it by saying I'm off my meds. So on record, they even say themselves that I'm off my meds at these points. Okay. Okay. So go to the next one. Now this is key. Okay, this is fucking key. This is February 23rd. 3 days before I go back to the psych ward, and I'll prove I go back to the psych ward in a second. Bear with me. Okay, February 23rd. It says slightly poisoned at Jack in the Box, and I didn't want to say the name because I didn't want them to see the video, or disinfected, you know, because I didn't want fucking the attention, because I plan to go in there again, you know. I don't want to embarrass myself going there, you know, even though they're in the wrong and I'm in the right.
This one I was thinking about forgiving the pharmaceutical scum and feeling bad about the pigs. I was thinking about taking those cop videos down. You know, I remembered that even the Jack in the Box that's quote-unquote treating me fairly put something in my drink today. I can taste it. I feel different. And no, it's not some, oh, he's just blaming the symptoms of his mental disease. No, you stupid pieces of shit. I'm the top martial artist. They're a bunch of filth.
So what preceded, what came before going to the psych ward, at least 2 out of 4 times in the last 4 years, was covertly being drugged, okay, which affected my mental state, which sent me into a rage.
This is the most political.
But as I'm showing you, that my best martial arts aren't done when they're covertly drugging me. Any dickhead who says, well, he's on stimulants, that's why he's so good, you know, doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. I'm taking great pains. It took me a while to compile this 45 list video to show you that I am actually better when I'm sober. I'm faster, I'm more precise, I have my things more together. Now this is February 25th, a day before going to the psych ward. Listen to what I say.
The people I've named in my video series, the groups, the institutions, law enforcement, psychiatry, pharmaceutical, biomed, Mills Peninsula,
even though I'm being covertly drugged, they haven't refined their method yet. They haven't drugged every food place I go to yet. So there, you know, there's moments when I'm drugged. There's moments when I'm not. This is one of the moments where I'm not as much drugged. And you know, psych op are white racist pigs for social policy, gang stalking government, blah blah. This is so you can see that I've insulted them. You know, I've insulted white secret societies that are in law enforcement. I've insulted law enforcement on at least half of the times, you know, right before going to the psych ward, about half of the times. You know, they're incapable of objectivity.
Mental health. They're all about upholding white social norms. And sometimes, you know, it's the mulatto guy who goes the hardest because, not because he's mixed with white, because he has the extra chip on his shoulder. You know, have his parents play stupid, a psych op running on him at the same time, bunch of queers and feminists and white racists targeting him. Because this world is controlled by a bunch of insecure control freaks, and the feminists, homosexuals, and white racists, and pedophiles. The people that everybody wants to kill are the rich people, and they plot on everyone else because they know everyone wants to kill them, to make a long story short. And there's secret societies in every gang. And, you know, you can't, a lot of times you can't trust motherfuckers, man. You can't trust motherfuckers. Motherfuckers play both sides and shit. Motherfuckers sometimes, you know, it's hard to tell who's playing what side, my nigga. But you know them by their works. And you know, I think that's the best nigga could tell you right now. I know without any doubt they want me to do something to somebody. They want me to do something to the white people to cause a sentiment of white nationalism and white separatism. And they want me to do something to the Serranos so minorities kill each other. You know what I'm saying? So I'm making sure that they suffer. I'm making sure that before any move is made, that law enforcement is divided, that the white community is divided, and we know which half is on our side and which half to take it out on. Thank you. I'm pretty sure that they're police officers and they're family members of police officers, and they're running some kind of 21 Jump Street style operation out of the South Side, and, you know, they have certain ties in the community. It's really about secret societies. It's where secret societies overlap with law enforcement and criminal gangs.
That's key. That's key. Prove that in part 2 as well.
And they, you know, when people make a long story short, when they say the government supplies the drugs, it's the truth. It's really this. It's where drug dealing overlaps with secret societies and the government. You know, and what's going on with me is where law enforcement overlaps with secret societies and the government. Thank you. The pharmaceutical industry, obviously. Thank you. At the store, some homosexual Mexican guy.
This is fucking key right here. This is the day that I'm taken to the psych ward. Okay? What happened is I argued with my mom, and then I left the house, okay? And then she called the cops on me just for arguing with her. Not threatening anybody, just for arguing with her. Saying she's off his medication, I'm worried about him, blah, blah, blah. I come back, she calls the cops again to tell them I came back, and they take me to psych ward.
At the store, some homosexual Mexican guy.
So this is my mind state right before going to the psych ward. Right after leaving, you know, my house, about 15-minute drive to the Safeway. And, you know, so this is about 30 minutes after the argument and about 10 minutes before going back to the psych ward.
Lady, both of them fat and a white bald head. I believe in their kid. You know, trying to use that as a pretense. Trying to set me up at the store. I pumped them all in a subtle way, and no, I'm not dumb enough to tell you how. Thank you.
Okay, here's the last clip. Basically, you know, I say I punked them all in a subtle way. And there was no, it wasn't like I was in their face, you know, I basically just, you know, did something very subtle, very normal to address the fact that they're running a psych op on me. Going back to the psych ward had nothing to do with that, you know, but that shows my state of mind. Logical, I'm talking about a psych op right before.
At the store, some homosexual Mexican guy, a Mexican lady, both of them fat and a white bald head. I believe in their kid, you know, trying to use that as a pretense. Trying to set me up at the store.
All right, so well, the next question is, well, how do we know that you were at the psych ward at that time? You know that from this other channel, okay? This is published March 17th, 2004, okay? And the title is, it says I was on psych praxis since February 27th, 2014 because I was in the psych ward. Now listen to my voice.
So, it's not a coincidence that I look healthier and there's more food available to me. And they've backed off of me, so I'm less irritated. Basically, my mood has to do with the background stressors, just like everyone else's. It's like when things go your way, you tend to be happier. When you see the things you like to see and hear the things you like to hear, you tend to be happier. When your senses constantly are interrupted by the things you don't want to hear, and you see the people you don't want to see, like, you know, such as jail, for example.
And you feel by the way I talk and so on and so forth, my mannerisms, blah, blah, blah. Now, then, so there's this, you know, this is like 5 days after that video. I'm very much on psych, man. My martial arts are sloppy, make a long story short. Now, when we shoot ahead to April 25th, 2014, okay, I'm starting to get off psych meds. I'm starting to improve. It's not that great though. Okay, now this one is another key video. This is the last time I was in the psych ward, July 11, 2014. Okay, so this is the day after I'm in the psych ward. I'll prove that in a second. Okay, now watch.
All religions started in Africa, probably Northeast Africa, and migrated out with the people and evolved as over time as new arguments would come.
Imagine that this video is very calm. Now you can watch it if you don't believe me. It's in the drug gang stalking drug in 2012 led to making me look crazy playlist of James Jackson channel, obviously. Now this is July 23rd, 2014. I was in the psych ward, you know, transferred from one psych ward to the John Muir Hospital or something like that. You know, it took me 11 days to get out, I guess.
What had happened the last 11 days was the Santa Clara County Sheriff on a Friday came to my house, pounded on the door, and it was over a video where I said that that they were lucky that I didn't do something, you know, and I was speaking in the past tense. It was completely unfair for them to detain me for it, and it was in a video.
See, speech patterns messed up, fresh out the psych ward, psych meds in my system. Okay, so now, you know, we'll shoot ahead to December 28, 2014. Starting to get my moves back. You see shortness of breath from the psych meds and fucking so on and so forth. Okay, they're fucking on my thing. Now here's another video, and I cover all these videos in my other ones.
I've been noticing quite dramatic.
Make a long story short, at one point I slip in this video. Did I put it in the comments? Anyway, at one point I do a psychic and I slip. It's this point right here. Okay, I almost never slip. And what do I say?
Oh yeah. I'm never fucking up my balance. Bullshit ain't gonna fly. Yeah, you see.
So they're covertly drugging me. And the best combos I have is when there's not too many psych meds in my system. I'm feeling just naturally angry, you know, and the worst I do, you know. So I've proven basically to shoot through it real fast and wrap this up once and for all. February 26, 2011, I've proven my state of mind leading up to that. It doesn't make sense for me to have gone to the psych ward. I was set up on record. The old chicken wing story, you know. My brother came out, grabbed me, you know, pushed me through the door, broke the inside lock. Okay. There was a lock on the doorknob. There's a chain lock. Well, let me just show you. There's this lock right here. Okay. See, there used to be a chain going here. You open the door a little bit, and you know the chain catches it. So I unlocked that lock, and you know, had broken the thing. That's why this thing is broken to this day. Okay. There was chicken wings on the floor. Okay. The floor is hardwood. The plate broke. Chicken wings everywhere. The cop said, "I don't see any chicken wings. I don't see any broken lock," even though he's standing on chicken sauce, you know, chicken wing sauce and broken pieces of plate everywhere. And I'm like, look, why do you think I'm being held down in my room? You know, I was assaulted, and you know, they pushed me through the door. Bro, I told them the story. You know, just complete nonsense. They fucking wanted to take me to the psych ward, you know, because of the pressure from my family, University of Phoenix, and my dad was trying to accuse my cousins of having temporal lobe seizures, well, both of them. And so I started showing them a lot of things. To make a long story short, it was the anniversary of my uncle's death, because they were making it seem like, oh, we're doing it for them, and you know, we're making, you know, giving them an example that, you know, he takes psych meds too, and that, you know, and so on and so forth. And so that was the first time in almost 10 years. Okay, remember the very first time was for me visiting the neighbor's daughter and then being control freaks and mad and making up that I was in a fugue state or some kind of seizure state, which is complete nonsense, complete lie. You know, no evidence of anything whatsoever. I remember that day very well. There was nothing like that. Okay, in that fugue state, you wouldn't remember. Anyway, so then there was the second time, you know, in the last you know, in the 4 years I was going to the University of Phoenix, the last 4 years, you know, between 2011 and now, or a little bit over 4 years, whatever. Okay, was July 28th, a member of my family's birthday. Okay, and right before that, I show you that's the one I show you with you know, them lacing the weed and blah, 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 and then provoking me, go to the psych ward, okay, you know, and then, you know, it's kind of sad, but that doesn't show anything. You know, I had an argument with my parents, and, you know, and they sent me to the psych ward, okay. And then, I believe that was the one where I hit that was the argument with my parents where I hit the wall, and they said I hit them, you know, or the people at the psych ward said I hit them. I said, no, they didn't. Call them. They finally called them. My parents admit that they didn't hit me. I mean, excuse me, that I didn't hit them, that I hit the wall, and they still had me in the psych ward for, you know, several, you know, actually a month and a half, because they sent me from Valley Med to Mills Peninsula to La Silva outpatient, okay. And then was February 26, 2014. That was the one where I show you, I'm talking about psych ops. I argue with my mom, and, you know, I talk about, you know, this is the video I played here right before I go in. This is my state of mind.
At the store, some homosexual Mexican guy and a Mexican.
You know, total nonsense to say that I'm a threat to myself and society when I just got back from going out into society with no problems at all. No one at the Safeway called the cops on me. No one said, he's acting crazy. Nothing even close to that. You know, but yet they take me to the psych ward. I mean, complete nonsense, complete hypocrisy. Okay, so then the very last time was over that video, and, you know, I showed you that. Remember, this is the one where I come out. So those are the last 4 times, okay? And this is my mind state right before that, in case you forgot. You know, I'll leave it there. And finally, I did not want to make this video this long, but there's a lot of explaining to do, and I'm sure that you understand why I did, and I'm sure you understand why I've been talking fast when I've been complaining about I don't want to make it this long the whole time.
It started in Africa, probably Northeast Africa, and migrated out with the people and evolved.
No, I don't think it's a coincidence. I was talking about white lies, white propaganda, things that secret societies uphold. I don't think it's a coincidence. I was talking about how white people stole the ideas from Egypt and how religion started in Africa, you know, up to pretty much at least 3 out of 4 videos, you know, probably 4 out of 4 times the psych ward, I was talking about this sort of thing, and it led up to going to the psych ward. I don't think that's a coincidence. I don't think it's a coincidence. I was talking about psych ops right before, you know. In fact, I know it's not a coincidence, and I don't think that the viewer should think that it's a coincidence. And I definitely don't think it's a coincidence when all is said and done that I did not want to make this video this long, but we're going to end it here so you all know that they have admitted, a gang stalker has admitted, and I have other proofs as well, but this is one of the most damning, and I'm going to play it for you real fast so you know, because there's going to be bootlickers who see this whole video, you know, who don't know about the other videos, who don't realize that they have admitted to provoking me to go to the psych ward. Listen carefully.
Did you say anything about psychiatry? What did you say?
If I believe that you believe in a psych ward, I think you're crazy. If I believe psychiatry is real, if I agree with what you believe in psychiatry.
And what did you say?
Well, I said no, I don't.
Did you say anything about I need to be in the psych ward or anything like that?
Did you say anything about what?
About me needing to be in the psych ward or anything like that?
Yes, he did.
Well, did he try to get you to help him get me to the psych ward?
Just because you want basically.
So he asked you to help piss me off so that I go to the psych ward?
Yeah.
Wow.
I rest my case. Gang stalking is real. Here's someone else who's being gang stalked in the Bay Area. Then there's Nappy Head, or what's this guy's name? Let me check real quick. Then there's Nappy Head Roots. Okay, so there's other people going through the same thing in the same area. This is also not far from MK Ultra and COINTELPRO and so on and so forth. I rest my case. Uploaded January 22nd, 2012. The time I was at the psych ward was, you know, February 26, 2011. I believe the 1-year anniversary of my uncle's death. Okay. Now, it's important I show you this so you can understand that this is Illuminati Part 159. Okay. So now let me go to the repost, because my original channel, Platinum Local, this is the first video on my second channel, Platinum Location. Okay. And now going to, okay, just pick a random video here. This is, you know, I'm going to estimate around the time I went to the psych ward, you know, somewhere around 42, somewhere around here. Okay, one of these videos, because I spread out these videos a lot more than you might think, because it starts in 2009. And you can see this one posted in 2012. So these are spread way out over years. Okay, when I first started making videos, I made them with a lot less frequency than after. Now, going back to the list. Okay, so that's important to note. So yeah, oh no, excuse me, I messed up there with the timeline. Damn it, that's true. I actually messed up with the timeline there. I'll correct it in part 2, but it was actually February 26, 2011 was the first time in almost 10 years I've been to the psych ward, because it goes from 2001 when I got in trouble with the law in late 2001, and then it goes to 2011. Okay, so you see that in this one I'm complaining about a psych ops, corrupt pigs. I'm sick of this New World Order shit, and I made a lot of videos about the psych ops they were running on me. Well, I'll have to make part 2 because this gas is killing me. I'll have to cut off here and come back to this. All right, going back to, I'll start at the first time I've been to the psych ward in almost 10 years. This video is to prove to you that the drugging affects my martial arts, and I've been very good at martial arts for a long time. Okay, this picture is when I'm 16 and a half. You can tell that I'm strong and shaped. This is long before there were covertly drug-induced stimulants. Okay, just to overkill that point. This video is from the drugging playlist, June 14th, 2012. And I'm holding a Knights Templar sword. Okay, so this is well after they began the psych op and they began gang stalking me, and so to say that it was, they're doing this because I was converted to Islam, or that they have a good reason, is nonsense. So here is when the background starts falling apart. May 15th, 2012. Okay, I have to make this into 2 clips because they give me a hard time uploading videos that are longer. I usually block them. There's also a challenge, in reference to my other martial arts challenge. Okay, wow, they're drugging me hard. I'm probably gonna sneeze anytime soon. My nose is just burning right now. It went away. Okay, anyway, yeah, they're gassing me pretty hard here. Explanations with interview with a friend that's known me 3 months. They say I'm not crazy and so on. And basically, it shows you they lace the weed, and I have proof in the video, and I go over this in my other videos. Let me try to shoot through this. You see that white thing that was on the weed? Okay, and then, I also shine a flashlight on it, showing there's white flakes that are similar to that. Okay, so they were drugging my weed. Let me show you the date, July 25th. This is 3 days before I go to the psych ward. Basically, I'm gonna give you the timeline for all this in a second. Okay. Matter of fact, let me take it back. The first time I went to the psych ward in almost 10 years was after my ex-girlfriend was my psychology teacher at University of Phoenix from 2001, when I got in trouble with the law. Okay. Now, this is a repost from 2009. Just listen.
It was more celebrated than say groups like the Mongols. Even the Mongols had a bigger empire, is because.
Okay, so I went to the psych ward, some 6 months after this video. Okay.
These are white guys, and the main reason they're getting credit for it is ideas that they have stolen from the Egyptians. And it's quite sad that the white people have stooped so low.
Okay, so white people, who are, psychiatrists about upholding white social norms, mainstream white social norms. And so they had vested interest in my parents. The very first time I ever went to the psych ward, it's important to note that I was going next door to see the neighbor's daughter, and I had taken about 5 steps outside, and my dad said that I was in a temporal, fugue state. My mom agreed. They both have it. My mom has more of a tendency to exaggerate, but they both have a tendency to exaggerate things when it comes to me. And it was about control. So at some point, the system decided that I was a problem as well. So they had vested interest in drugging me to keep me under control, under their control more specifically. Okay,